Elite Facts presents
11 weirdest sports that actually exist.
11.
Swamp soccer. Soccer is a pretty standard sport in most countries. However, it can't be played just anywhere. Well, it can technically, but usually you're required to have a solid surface to play on. Well, here comes swamp soccer to completely change up the rules. Swamp soccer is a form of association football that's played in bogs or swamps. The sport is said to come from Bishop Auckland in the northeast of England, where it initially was used as an exercise activity for athletes and soldiers, since playing on soft bog is physically demanding. However, the first organized championship was the 1998 Finnish Championship and was the brainchild of Jyrki Vanhanen, nicknamed the Swamp Baron, when the creator of swamp football moved there. There are currently an estimated 260 swamp football teams around the world. At the Swamp Football World Championship Games of 2005, some 5,000 players participated.
10.
Tractor pulling. Now, this isn't the tractor pulling you're probably thinking of. You know, the one that's usually a part of strongman competitions where humans pull tractors. No, this one is literally using tractors and trucks to pull large objects. Truck and tractor pulling, also known as power pulling, is a competition using tractors and large trucks to pull a heavy sled or sledge along a track, and is very popular in rural areas. Usually, the sled offers progressively greater resistance as it's pulled. It can be a great spectacle, although the pulling vehicle produces a great deal of noise and smoke and tends to kick up dirt. Also, the tractors pulling don't actually travel very far. A typical full pull is just 300 feet or 100 meters. There are many different classes, from factory tractors to custom-built or modified vehicles with multiple engines. This is seen as a sport in the same way as NASCAR is seen as a sport.
9.
Canine Freestyle. Technically, it isn't a sport, but you really need to see this. Not to mention, there are other quote-unquote sports on here that technically aren't sports, yet are classified as sports by the people who perform in them. This one is just plain weird, though. Musical Canine Freestyle, also known as musical freestyle, freestyle dance, and canine freestyle, is a modern dog sport that is a mixture of obedience, tricks, and dance that allows for creative interaction between dogs and their owners. There are two types: musical freestyle and freestyle heeling, also known as heel work to music. The main difference being that freestyle heeling focuses on a dog's ability to stay in variations of the heel position while the handler moves to music, whereas musical freestyle demands that the dog perform a variety of tricks and other obedience talents and places a greater focus on the trainer's dance abilities and creativity.
8.
Punkin Chunkin. Punkin Chunkin, and yes, it's pronounced like that, is the action of hurling a pumpkin in a competition by mechanical means over distances greater than those of other competitors. Literally, that's it. Pumpkin chucking competitions, formal and informal, exist throughout the United States in the autumn when pumpkins are harvested. In order of increasing effectiveness, the devices include compound slingshots, catapults, tree buckets, and pneumatic air cannons. A pneumatic air cannon named Young Glory 3 holds the current world record after firing a pumpkin 4,483.51 feet in 2008 during the annual competition in Delaware. As you can tell from the video, this is not a particularly interesting spectator sport, nor is it really a sport in general.
7.
Bun climbing. Say what you want about this one, but tradition is tradition. So each spring, thousands upon thousands of Hong Kong citizens and visitors swarm the minuscule fishing island of Cheung Chau to witness man versus bun. Just outside the Pak Thai Temple, 60-foot-tall bamboo and metal structures are covered in steamed, sweet, and blessed buns. At midnight on the final night of the week-long festival, in an event known as the Bun Scramble, athletes try their best to scurry up the bun towers and gather more buns than their opponents.
6.
Outhouse Racing. Okay, this is definitely the strangest and possibly the most disgusting quote-unquote sport on this list. Mackinac City actually hosts a series of outhouse races every year. The event is billed as, quote, the best case of the runs you'll ever have, by Greg Big G Yoder, who first commissioned the event. The rules require each racing outhouse to contain a toilet seat and a toilet paper dispenser. There can be only 2 pushers, 2 pullers, and 1 rider per outhouse, which is mounted on skis. Hopefully, those outhouses were emptied before the event, or it could be the crappiest race ever.
5,
Mountain unicycle. This is without a doubt a recipe for disaster. When we think of a unicycle, we think of clowns and the circus, not rugged men taking it to some of the most dangerous terrains on Earth. People take a unicycle and ride it on rocky terrain. Unicycles are among the hardest things to ride, right next to the pogo stick. This is just a sport of pure insanity, but it has gotten national coverage on major news channels like Fox. As you can see from the video here, this is not a particularly graceful sport.
4,
Mind Ball. Mind Ball is a 2-person game controlled by players' brainwaves, in which players compete to control a ball's movement across a table by becoming more relaxed and focused. Mind Ball is produced by the Swedish company Interactive Product Line. The concept, introduced in 2005, originates from the prototype Brain Ball, which was developed by the Smart Studio at the Interactive Institute, also in Sweden.
3,
Chess boxing. Now there are 2 words you never thought you would see together. Chess has always been a battle of the minds. Boxing has always been a battle of both brawn and mind. So what would happen if you combined the 2? Chess boxing is a sport for nerds. It involves a 2-minute boxing round and a 4-minute chess competition. There's even a governing body. It's called the World Chess Boxing Association, and their motto is, quote, "Fighting is done in the ring, but war is waged on the board." So what would happen if you knocked your opponent out during the 2-minute boxing round? Does the chess game have to wait, or is it classified as a forfeit? Also, is a knockout called a checkmate in this version of boxing?
2,
Extreme ironing. Let's be honest, ironing is a pain. Ironing feels like a sport on its own, considering how stressful it can be. However, if ironing is too boring for you, how about giving extreme ironing a shot? Extreme ironing is an extreme sport and a performance art. People who play this unusual sport go to a remote location and iron clothes. They call themselves ironists, and they get a thrill from taking their ironing board, unplugged iron, and some of their wrinkly clothes to some extreme places and photograph themselves ironing. The places that they have reached include extreme altitude, under the water, hanging from cliffs, and on top of vehicles. According to the official website, extreme ironing is, quote, "the latest danger sport that combines the thrills of an extreme outdoor activity with the satisfaction of a well-pressed shirt."
1,
Gurning Competition. Seriously, this is a thing. A competition where the ugliest face wins. Yes, this is actually considered as a sport. Gurning is apparently a word for pulling a face, and you probably are not surprised to know that there is a World Gurning Contest. Gurning competitions originated in 1297 at the Egremont Crab Fair in the UK. It makes sense then that as part of Crab Fair in this part of the world, they hold face-pulling competitions to see who can make the ugliest face. We guess it does require the use of facial muscles, kind of. Okay, no, this is definitely not a sport. Yet people do classify it as one, and it's fun for the whole family.
Thanks for watching another amazing video, folks. Subscribe for more from Elite Facts.